Hey, it's Lucas, and today I'm back with another UK medical review, this time for 4C Labs Alaskan Thunder. So Alaskan Thunder, otherwise known as Alaskan Thunderfuck, no prizes for guessing why they didn't put the full name on UK Medical, is a cross between two different plants, the first plant being Northern California crossed with Russian Ruderalis, and the second plant being Afghani. This is a sativa-dominant hybrid, and the effects are said to be euphoric, energetic, and aroused. Now, starting out with the packaging, like I always do, this is what the bag's looking like if I cover up my label. Clear 4C Labs branding, medical label there, and then nothing else on the front. On the back there you can see the product label if it wants to focus, which I don't think it will, but I'll read it out anyway. It says ATD 29/1 medicinal cannabis flower, THC 29%, CBD less than 1%, sativa, cultivar Alaskan Thunder, sativa dominant hybrid, producer SNDL Inc. Canada, expiry is 6 of the first 26, so a nice long expiry on this, used within 30 days of first use, unlicensed medicine. Route of administration for inhalation via vaporizer, keep out of reach and sight of children, warning, storage instructions, and then manufacturer. So keeping with the theme, I'm just going to give the packaging a 6. It's plain. I do like this purple colour, and as always, I like the little accents up there of the 4C Labs logo. Can't be more than a 6 though, so just 6 out of 10 for the packaging. Moving on to the smell of the whole nugs, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. When I cracked the packaging, I got mainly a piney smell with hints of mint in there. Not super strong, but the minty / menthol edge to it just tipped it for me. I really like minty strains. Now this has got no minty lineage or genetic lineage, I think I said that right, I don't know. This has got no mintiness in the genetics, but for some reason I get a slightly menthol but overwhelmingly piney smell. And to me, I like it, so I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 for the whole nugs. When it's ground up, I would bump it up to a 7.25. It is very slightly mintier, and again, I really like the minty terps, so 7.25 for the ground up smell. Moving on to the looks, if you want to see what these nugs look like, click on the link in the pinned comment. That'll take you to a short where I show the nugs. I'm not going to be showing the nugs in this video because I don't want it to get age restricted. Age restriction has nothing to do with kids and everything to do with legal patients being able to see this video. So yeah, click on the link in the pinned comment if you want to see the nugs. I'm going to give the looks of this a 7.5. I think they look really nice. My only gripe is that I only got small nugs. If I'd got a couple of medium-sized nugs in there, I probably would have given them an 8, but because they were so small, I can only give them a 7.5. They were light green with a good dusting of trichomes on there, very sparkly. Not really much colour variation. I didn't see any orange hairs on there that I can remember. There probably might have been some, but I don't remember seeing them. Just really nice light green sparkly nugs. So 7.5? Yeah, 7.5 for the looks. Next up for the taste, I medicate using a screwball ball vape. I always start at 220 to get a nice flavorful hit, and then for the rest of the time, I did used to use at 280, and that's what I vaped the majority of this on, but I recently accidentally combust at 280, so I've lowered it down to around 250, 260, so I have been using this at 280, but I've lowered down recently to about 250. The taste at 220, when I go for the flavorful hits, I get mainly a floral pine. There is slight hints of menthol on there, but it is mainly, like I said before, piney with floralness. The mint really takes a back step, which for me, I wanted that to be dominant because I've said probably 100 times in this video, I really like the minty / menthol strains, but this was predominantly floral with a good hit of pine on there, so for me personally, I would give the flavour a 6.5 out of 10. And for the effects, a straight up 8. This has been amazing for me. I've really enjoyed it, and I went through it far too quickly. When I get this in future, I might have to go for 20G instead of just 10, because it's been really nice. 8 out of 10 for the effects. This is a sativa dominant hybrid, but for me personally, I prefer it for a night time because it knocks me the fuck out. In an afternoon at lower doses and lower temperatures, it's a nice social strain. Again, it's one of those where it gets me a little bit monged, so I can sit back and I don't really feel anxious about people having a conversation around me. I don't need to be in the middle of the conversation. I never need to be in the middle of the conversation, let's be honest, but when I'm in a social setting, even if it's my own friends, I get anxious, and if I'm not really involved in the conversation, it makes my mind race because I know this is not the case, but my brain's going, they don't like you, they don't want you here, they don't want to talk to you, that's why you're not included in this conversation, you may as well just go home. That's not the case, but when I have this in a social setting, I'm quite happy to just sit back and let the conversation wash over me, and I don't feel bad about it. Again, like I said, if I'm with my friends, it's never a case of being left out, but my brain is always on the go, so I have a little bit of this in a social setting, it calms me right down, and if I don't want to be in the conversation. They're talking about something that I don't really care about. I don't feel anxious about it, and I'm happy to just sit back and let it happen. If they're talking about something that I like and I want to get involved, I'm able to be chatty. And yeah, I like this for social settings and daytime use, but I also like this on a nighttime, higher temperature, higher dose. Take a couple of rips of this and then lay down. My entire body starts to tingle, and it's almost like floating, but not quite. Again, I took this to download with me, hence why I don't have any of this left. And on a nighttime in my tent when it's hard to sleep, I was usually just ripping the Mango Dream rosin, but if I wanted to actually vape some of this, it would put me on my back, and I would feel like slightly floaty, really tingly, and I just think that this is great for sleep. So really good for social situations in an afternoon at lower temperatures, and amazing for sleep at higher temperatures. I feel like I have tried this in a morning, and it was probably similar to the low dose social setting one. It's not really a morning strain for me, even though it's sativa dominant. I do, again, like I said, like this for socializing in the afternoon, but mainly I like this for sleep. I really like the full body tingles, and I like the floaty sort of feeling. So this is definitely afternoon, nighttime for me. And the effects, I'm going to have to just give them a straight up 8. Wow. Don't have any of this left. Haven't medicated. Too hot. Tripping over my words. Definitely an 8 out of 10 for the effects of this. I am super sad that I don't have any of this left, and I really, really want more. So let's quickly walk back through my rating. The packaging, 6 out of 10. It looks fine, nothing special. Smell of the whole nugs, 7 out of 10. Piney and slightly mint, 7.25, I think I said when it's broken down, a little bit slightly more menthol, still very nice. Looks 7.5 out of 10. Although they were small, they did look nice. They weren't just tight little boulders. They had some good structural variation in there. Good dust in the trichomes, nice light green colour. 7.5 out of 10. If they were bigger nugs, they'd get an 8, but I just can't give them that for the smalls. Taste 6.5, not really for me. I don't really like floral flavours. It was a little bit piney and slightly menthol, but mainly floral and pine, so just 6.5 on the flavour. And the effects, 8 out of 10. If you take a high dosage at a high temperature and it's nighttime, it will just, it doesn't straight up knock me out, like it doesn't, I don't just close my eyes and go sleep. I close my eyes and I definitely feel, I don't know why that came out weird then, I definitely feel like every little bit of my body, down to my fingertips, down to my toes, just tingling and slightly like lifting off the bed. Obviously, I'm not floating, I'm not magic, but it just sort of feels like that. And I really, really love when I take a huge hit and my entire body tingles and I can close my eyes. Like, I don't know, I just really, really love that. So 8 out of 10 for the effects for me. Overall, I'm going to give Alaskan Thunder a 7.75 out of 10. I've really, really enjoyed this. I definitely want some more. I would personally put this above Georgia Pie, because mainly for the price and the quality, you really can't beat it. An extra £14 for the Georgia Pie, not worth it. Just go for the £75 Alaskan Thunder. That's coming from me, who really, really like the Georgia Pie. I like this better. So 7.75 for the Alaskan Thunder from 4C Labs. If you like this video, leave a like, leave me a comment telling me if you've tried it. What should I get on my next script? Keep your eyes peeled for my next videos. Peace.